Winning isn't about luck. It's about resilience, about stepping into the storm while others seek shelter. In a world that glorifies overnight success, the truth remains unchanged. Victory belongs to those who endure, those who persist in silence, those who sharpen their minds like a blade against the grindstone of adversity. The path is not easy, but it was never meant to be, because what is earned in struggle is owned forever. Welcome to Stoic Inner Mind, where we don't chase success, we forge it. 1. The mindset that shapes destiny. Belief is the foundation of every triumph. Before a single step is taken, before the world takes notice, before history is made, winning begins in the mind. It's not just about thinking positively, it's about knowing deep within that no obstacle is insurmountable. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The very barriers that others fear are the stepping stones for those who refuse to surrender. Think of those who changed the world. Edison, who saw failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Jordan, who turned every missed shot into fuel for greatness. They didn't hope for success. They embodied it long before the results appeared. A winning mindset is not about waiting for the right conditions, it's about forging ahead despite them. Consider the story of Admiral James Stockdale, a US Navy officer who endured 7 years as a prisoner of war. He credited his survival to a Stoic principle, unwavering belief in the ultimate outcome, paired with the discipline to confront reality head-on. He didn't indulge in blind optimism, nor did he succumb to despair. He understood that victory was a matter of resilience, of facing suffering without losing sight of the bigger picture. This is the mindset that transforms hardship into strength. Now, ask yourself, what if you succeed? What if every setback is simply a lesson in disguise? What if, instead of fearing failure, you saw it as the necessary price for mastery? The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not talent, luck, or opportunity. It is the unshakable belief that they will win. So, write down one goal. Underneath it, write, "I will win." Read it every morning. When doubt creeps in, when obstacles appear, remember this. The mind is the battlefield and belief is the weapon. Use it well. 2. The silent architect of greatness. Motivation is a spark, bright, powerful, but fleeting. It ignites passion, fuels excitement, and pushes us forward. But like fire without wood, it burns out. This is where most people falter. They wait for inspiration, for the perfect moment, for that surge of energy to carry them through. But winners, they don't wait. They rely on something far stronger: discipline. Discipline is silent. It does not announce itself, nor does it seek praise. It is the quiet force that turns effort into excellence, transforming ordinary habits into extraordinary results. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus said, "How long will you wait before you demand the best of yourself?" This is the essence of discipline, the refusal to let emotions dictate action, the commitment to show up even when the mind screams for comfort. Think of the athlete who wakes before dawn, training in solitude while the world sleeps. The artist who paints through frustration, knowing that mastery is not a gift but a product of repetition. The writer who crafts words daily, understanding that brilliance is not born, it is built, sentence by sentence. These individuals do not rely on feeling ready. They act regardless. The greatest achievements in history were not forged in moments of inspiration, but in years of relentless, disciplined effort. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire not because he was the most talented, but because he cultivated a mind and spirit unmoved by external chaos. He disciplined himself to think clearly, to act justly, to lead with unwavering steadiness. Now, ask yourself, do you control your habits, or do they control you? Do you only work when it's easy, or do you persist when no one is watching? Success does not come to those who merely want it. It belongs to those who are disciplined enough to earn it. Start today. Set a routine. Follow it whether you feel like it or not. Because in the end, motivation may light the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. 3. The unyielding force of perseverance. The road to success is never straight. It twists through failure, climbs through hardship, and often feels endless. Many start the journey, but only a few reach the destination. Why? Not because they are the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest, but because they refuse to stop. Perseverance is the force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. History remembers those who endured. J.K. Rowling faced rejection from 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a phenomenon. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years behind bars before leading a nation. Thomas Edison found 10,000 ways that didn't work before he invented the light bulb. They were not immune to failure. They were simply unwilling to let it define them. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Life will test you. You will be knocked down. You will question whether it's worth it. But in these moments, when everything in you says quit, perseverance whispers, one more step." Think of a mountain climber. The summit seems impossibly far. The air grows thin, and exhaustion sets in. But they do not measure the journey in miles. They focus only on the next foothold, and then the next, until one day they stand where so many gave up. Now, ask yourself, will you be the person who turns back at the first sign of struggle, or will you push forward, knowing that every step through difficulty is a step toward greatness? When the road is long and the weight is heavy, remember this: success does not belong to those who start, it belongs to those who keep going. Perseverance separates those who dream from those who achieve. Tell me, what's one challenge you're pushing through right now? Comment, "I will persist," if you're committed to overcoming it, or share your struggle so we can grow together. Let's keep moving forward. 4. Failure, the hidden path to mastery. Most people fear failure. They see it as an end, a verdict on their worth, a reason to stop. But those who succeed understand a deeper truth. Failure is not the enemy. It is the teacher. It is the forge in which strength is built, the chisel that shapes raw potential into mastery. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes in history, once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." He understood what the Stoics have always taught. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward it. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius embraced this idea in his own way. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every failure is not a wall, it is a doorway, if you have the courage to walk through it. Think of the Wright brothers, who defied gravity not because they avoided failure, but because they studied every crash, every miscalculation, and every setback. Each failure brought them closer to flight. Each mistake was a lesson, a correction, a step forward. Now, ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped fearing failure? What if, instead of avoiding mistakes, you sought to learn from them? What if, instead of quitting when things go wrong, you asked, "What is this teaching me?" Those who succeed do not avoid failure. They collect it. They use it as fuel. They understand that the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. So, the next time you stumble, do not see it as defeat. See it as refinement. See it as progress. See it as proof that you are moving forward. The only true failure is refusing to try again. 5. The quiet power of gratitude. In a world obsessed with chasing more success, more recognition, more possessions, few stop to appreciate what they already have. Yet, those who truly understand life's rhythm know this. Gratitude is not just a virtue, it is power. It shifts the mind from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to clarity, from resistance to acceptance. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Gratitude does not mean ignoring struggles, it means seeing them through a different lens. The obstacle you face today may be the very thing that strengthens you for tomorrow. Imagine a man climbing a mountain. If he only stares at the peak, he will feel overwhelmed, exhausted by how far he has to go. But if he pauses, turns around, and sees how high he has already climbed, he gains perspective. He realizes his strength, his progress. That is what gratitude does. It reminds you of how far you've come, even when the road ahead feels long. Consider Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust. Stripped of everything, his home, his family, his freedom, he still found meaning in the smallest things. A sunrise, a kind word, the ability to choose his response to suffering. Gratitude became his armor, his defiance against despair. If he could find reasons to be grateful in the darkest of places, what excuse do we have? Now, ask yourself, do you focus on what's missing, or do you honor what you have? Do you let difficulties blind you, or do you use them as stepping stones? Gratitude does not eliminate challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them. Tonight, take a moment. Write down 3 things you are grateful for, one of them being a challenge that has shaped you. When you wake up tomorrow, read it. Let it remind you that even in struggle there is something to appreciate, because a grateful mind is an unbreakable one. 6. The bridge between dreams and reality. Thoughts do not build empires. Plans do not shape legacies. Dreams, no matter how vivid, remain illusions until one thing brings them to life: action. The difference between those who succeed and those who merely wish is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the willingness to take the first step, even when the path is unclear. It is the understanding that progress is not made in contemplation, but in movement. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most people spend their lives trapped in their own minds, paralyzed by overthinking, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Consider the great minds of history. Leonardo da Vinci, who did not wait for certainty before sketching his flying machines. The Wright brothers, who launched their crude prototypes into the wind despite the laughter of skeptics. They acted, they failed, they adjusted, and they changed the world. A sculptor does not perfect his masterpiece in thought alone. He picks up the chisel, strikes the stone, refines with each stroke. The first attempt may be rough, unpolished, but each action brings him closer to mastery. The same is true for you. Now, ask yourself, what is one thing you have delayed for too long? What is one action you can take today, no matter how small, to move forward? Because thinking will not make you stronger. Planning will not make you wiser. Only action will. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be certainty. But there will always be now. And the moment you step forward, you separate yourself from the millions who only dream. Because action is not just movement, it is transformation. 7. The silent architect of your destiny. You do not rise above your environment, you are shaped by it. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, the information you consume, all of it molds you, whether you realize it or not. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, your environment carves your thoughts, your habits, your future. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus warned, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because growth often requires stepping away from the crowd, distancing yourself from those who pull you back into mediocrity. A lion does not train among sheep, and a warrior does not sharpen his sword in a dull forge. Look at the world's greatest minds. Michelangelo surrounded himself with artists, thinkers, and architects. Tesla isolated himself from distractions to bring his ideas to life. Even Marcus Aurelius, though an emperor, carefully chose mentors who challenged him rather than flattered him. They curated their environments with precision, knowing that success is not just about talent, it's about what and who you allow to shape you. Now, ask yourself, who and what surrounds you? Do the people in your life elevate you or drain you? Does your daily routine push you toward growth or lull you into stagnation? If you want to change your life, start by changing what you allow into it. Cleanse your space of distractions. Seek out those who challenge you. Consume knowledge that sharpens your mind. Because whether you realize it or not, your environment is either fueling your rise or ensuring your fall. Choose wisely. Winning isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does, showing up when motivation fades, and pushing forward when failure tempts you to stop. The greatest victories are not won overnight. They are forged in discipline, perseverance, and the willingness to act despite fear. You are stronger than your doubts. Your struggles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. The mindset you cultivate, the habits you build, the people you surround yourself with, all of it shapes your destiny. So, take that first step. Keep going when it gets tough. Trust the process. Because every small action, every silent effort, every lesson learned in failure is bringing you closer to the person you are meant to be. The question isn't if you will win, it's when. And that answer, it depends on you.